Alicia Garza was born on January 4, 1981, in Los Angeles, California. She lived with her mother, stepfather, and younger brother, Joey. When Trayvon Martin was killed, Alicia, then 31 years old, thought about her younger brother. Trayvon had been racially profiled, or targeted because he was black. Joey was tall and had brown skin and curly hair. Someone could racially profile him, just like they had Trayvon. Alicia felt powerless in that moment. But in reality, Alicia had been full of power since she was a child. Alicia's mother began teaching her self-defense moves in their kitchen late at night when she was young. She told Alicia she didn't have to do anything with anyone if she didn't want to. Alicia's mother had been attacked when she was younger, and she wanted her daughter to understand how to protect herself. When Alicia was 12, she thought a lot about protection. All around the country, adults argued about what teenagers should do with their bodies. Many adults felt like teenagers were too young to make their own health decisions. But Alicia believed teenagers had a right to protect themselves and their bodies. She fought to bring health education and resources to middle and high schools in her district, and she won. This was Alicia's first time organizing, and she found great power in seeing a problem and making a plan for change. In college, Alicia joined the Student Association at University of California, San Diego. There, she fought for higher pay for the university janitors. As an adult, Alicia worked as the Special Projects Director for the National Domestic Workers Alliance. This organization fights to make sure labor workers like nannies, housekeepers, and caregivers are treated fairly on the job. Alicia's efforts supporting people who needed protection would help her later with her activist work. Patrisse Cullors was born in Van Nuys, California. Living with her mom, sister, and two brothers in a low-income neighborhood had its challenges. Patrisse was 9 when she saw her 11 and 13-year-old brothers slammed into a wall by police officers. She was 13 when she saw Los Angeles police handcuff and haul away her older brother, Monty. The problem was that Monty suffered from schizoaffective disorder, a mental health condition that affects the way a person thinks, feels, and behaves. Instead of helping Monty, police officers often put him in jail. When Patrisse got older, Monty started writing her letters from jail. He explained that he was beaten and forced to drink toilet water by county sheriffs who patrolled the jails. One time in 1999, he was almost killed. Patrisse and her mom wanted to tell someone, but there was no one to turn to. The police, in most cases, were always believed, especially over the word of a poor person with brown skin. By the time she was 12 years old, Patrisse knew she was queer, a word used to describe someone who does not identify as straight or whose gender identity does not fully match the sex, male or female, they were assigned at birth. She was also part of the Jehovah's Witness religion. The elders in her faith community believed being queer was wrong. Patrisse knew she and her family would be shunned by the Jehovah's Witness community if she openly identified as queer. But at age 16, she came out to her family anyway and left home. Young and on her own, Patrisse struggled to survive without much support. This showed her the importance of sticking up for everyone, even if they were poor, queer, or black or brown women. When Patrisse was 17, she joined the Bus Riders Union, a group in Los Angeles that pushed for more funding for the bus system and less money for the city train system. Cutting bus funding meant poor people who lived in the city, those without cars and who didn't live near train stations, had fewer options to travel to places they needed to go, like grocery stores. In Patrisse's eyes, the people who were most often forgotten, like bus riders, were black and poor. In 2012, Patrisse started Dignity and Power Now, a coalition that fights against brutality by sheriff's deputies who work inside the county jails. Patrice's work supporting people who weren't often respected or treated fairly by those in power, including inmates, would help her as an activist later in life. Opal Tometi was born on August 15, 1984, in Phoenix, Arizona. Opal's parents had been born in Nigeria. They came to the United States to build a new life as immigrants. Life in Phoenix, Arizona, for Opal and her two younger brothers was filled with community spirit. The Tometi family and other Nigerians in Phoenix formed a small community where they learned to stick together and look out for one another. Some of the Nigerians in Opal's community were immigrants, like her parents. Others had been born in the United States, like Opal and her brothers. Either way, everyone supported one another. Once, Opal's uncle was sent to an immigration detention center. Members of the Nigerian community, whether they were family or not, took turns visiting Opal's uncle on weekends. This was their way of making sure the uncle was safe. It also let him know that he was loved and supported. This incident taught young Opal the importance of supporting one another to protect against unfair systems.